This is Dr. Scott Scher from Troscriptions. In this conversation with Dr. Ted, we dive deep into the immune system. The immune system is in our gut for the most part, but Dr. Ted and I, we didn't learn about the immune system of the gut, we learned about the immune system in the bone marrow. So in this conversation, we talk about the immune system in detail, the lymphatic system, we talk about various ways to modulate the immune system, including the fantastic compound Cordycepin in the Cordyceps mushroom.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Scott, but when I was a medical student, the immune system for us was the bone marrow. Were you taught that it's the gut that's actually the largest immune system in the body?
No, never. No, we never heard the evolutionary origin of the immune system.
It's only in the last 15 years that we really found that the largest immune system is the gut. And when I discuss this with you guys, I give a model where you have like a ball with a tunnel in the middle, and at the top, if the tunnel is your mouth, and at the bottom is where you excrete, and everything else in the tunnel is actually surface for absorption for food, right? And the first thing that your body has to do is to defend you from what you're eating. And so the Peyer's patches and all the lymphoid tissue are there. And of course, it's also recently that we found out that the gut microbiota is the one that pre-processes all the food. We thought that they were invaders, but turns out there's like 2.2 kilos of them in the body just pre-processing all of your food.
Yeah.
And they also exert some immunomodulation.
This is the first reason why we needed to have an immune system, right? Because things are coming outside of our environment, and we had to be able to know what we wanted to take in, or whatever the organism was, versus what we were going to keep out, and we had to have something to be able to do that, to decide. Yeah,
we're actually a physically closed but energetically open system, and it means that we have to take energy from outside, and there's a reason why we move, is in order to be able to search for food. Unlike plants, if we had like chlorophyll or chloroplast in our body, then we probably don't have just expose ourselves to the sunlight and actually gain our electrons that way for energy production. Right?
It might be easy if we have some chloroplasts around, but I guess we have to use the mitochondria instead, huh?
Yeah, but you know what? It's actually interesting that even the primitive bacteria actually have their primitive immune system.
Right.
And what it did is that it cut up viral RNA and viral DNA, right? And that's the origin of the CRISPR-Cas9, the Bell Prize winning technology. It's like when you start looking at it as like a primitive immune system, then the perspective shifts rather than, that's just another, facility of the cell, of the bacterial cell to be able to, protect itself. But it's protection, right? So, you see that's the immune system.
Yeah, we also know that there's viral DNA in our genetic code too, right?
Yeah.
From previous evolutionary origin.
Yeah, jumping genes.
Jumping genes,
genes.
Yeah, and the immune system is so intricate, and there's various different aspects of it, right? And so, as clinicians, we're always talking to our patients about how they can enhance their immune system function. I mean, there's some basic things, right? I mean, you have a basic list of things you talk about with your clients.
Yeah, I do. I actually want to point out, because I used to work with the brain a lot, and I still do. One of the things that is a recent discovery, really, is the lymphatic system. We used to think that the brain had no lymphatic system, where the immune cells can travel, but actually it has what's called a lymphatic system. It was discovered in 2012. So now, we could see it as actually any breach in it is a basis for neuroinflammation, and then you could have all of those neurologic sequela because of neuroinflammation.
And it's most active in the evenings, right? When we're sleeping.
Yeah, when you're sleeping. Right. So you need a good night's rest, and that's why I have this sleep anchoring technique, right? Where you choose time you're going to sleep and sleep at that time, and make that the beginning of your day.
Right.
And the very important function of the lymphatic system is actually clearing out all of that debris in your brain, making it fresh. And of course, one of the, it's very interesting that the amyloid theory of Alzheimer's has just been really thrown into question, because
all those fake papers.
the images of the original paper saying it's amyloid is actually doctored. They were fake.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, we also know that there's certain aspects of sleep that are most important for lymphatic drainage. I think it's the deep sleep piece.
Yeah,
right?
the deep sleep.
Yeah.
And I actually love the fact that there's a molecule that does that. That comes from fungus.
Yes.
It comes from the Cordyceps mushroom.
The one that infects ants and takes over their nervous systems and makes
Yes,
them zombies. Yes,
yes, that one.
Yes.
And it has a molecule that does the heavy hefting for that. Is called Cordycepin.
Yes.
And Cordycepin actually has been proven to increase deep sleep. Right?
Yes.
And it's in our product.
It happens to be in Tro Mune, that's true.
And Tro Z.
And Tro Z, right, because of the deep sleep piece of it, but from the immune system activation, we also know that Cordycepin is like 100 times stronger than the cordyceps itself for the various types of immune aspects, correct?
Yes. One of the first things that I think about when I think of Cordycepin or the immune system really is its involvement in inflammation, because it's a primary defense mechanism, right, of the body, is to inflame, and then that's usually mediated by the NF-kappa B pathway,
right,
and then resolved by the NRF2 pathway, right? So that's a balance, and then when you get into a chronic stress state, then the NF-kappa B pathway just is unmitigated, right? And there are substances that actually upregulate the NRF2 pathway. Turmeric, for example, will do that. But the key is actually to remove the chronic stress.
Right.
Right. And one of the things, ways that you do that is actually to decrease bodily inflammation. Well, get good sleep, right? And so happens Cordycepin promotes great sleep, aside from the fact that it actually decreases the production of inflammatory cytokines that incite inflammation.
Right, and overall, it's got some fantastic studies in various types of specialties as well, as an anti-diabetic potentially, as something that improves metabolism, maybe as an anti-cancer agent in some cases.
Yeah, those studies are very interesting. They just came out last year, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm brain obsessed, and one of the things that is listed as number one is a decrease in neuroinflammation.
Yes,
right?
and that's big.
And that's very big. And the second is promotion of deep sleep. Of course, there's also other non-disease-based types of indications for it. Like, for example, they saw that athletic performance actually improved because it improved the oxygenation of the blood. So these are the kinds of things that are exciting about it, because it has both. They are both clinical, because athletes would love this, right? And those who have cancers, diabetes, and other metabolic diseases may want to take a look at this and see, right?
I'm really excited about Tro Mune. I think it's got a lot of potential, because we're the first company ever to create something with just this molecule in such a high strength. And I think the potential is pretty awesome.
Yeah, you asked me, and I computed. It's like, okay, for 150 milligram Tro Mune, which is like 150 milligrams of Cordycepin, right? You would have to take like 7.5 grams of the Cordyceps mushroom.
Yeah, that's a huge amount.
In order to approximate our Cordycepin troche with a 2% content of that mushroom. Right?
Yeah. And how are you taking Cordycepin now? How have you been? Because we've been testing it.
Actually, I was. This is very interesting, and this is just my little anecdote here. I was in Asia for a month, and you know how that is. It's a total flip of your body clock, and because we are dog fooding our products, I took Cordycepin troches every night, a whole one, and I had deep sleep. It was great. But what I noticed was, when I came back, was that my pants were loose, and so I measured my waistline, and I said, "Oh my God, I lost 2 inches of my waist." I said, "This is interesting," and that's how much intestinal inflammation I had from that whole process. So it sort of like reminds me of a patient that I had where I told her to stop drinking alcohol, and then a month later, she shows up at one of my lectures and wearing a really tight-waisted skirt, and I said, "Why are you here?" "I'm just showing off my waist," because her waist had decreased. But just decreasing, just removing a very highly inflammatory substance like alcohol from her regular routine.
Yeah, right? Inflammation's a big deal, and I mean, with Cordycepin, I think we got something that can really help a lot of people.